Hi, we're talking about law today, and the reason I'm telling you about this is because I learnt by 80% of the communication, that's body language, and that's the judges running out and doing all sorts of things. Now, basically the law goes in the beginning is void, meaning no image, no symbol, no contract. Then we have a word or an image or a symbol that the priest taught the scribes, and then the scribes got the rich to make holy writings. So all words, whether you like it or not, are religious constructs. I've never seen a living word. I've never seen anyone speak words, because if we did actually speak words, we would never have invented the typewriter, because the typewriter, it types words where we make sounds for concepts that we call words. Right, so Australian government is a religion, whether you like it or not. That's why we are praying for a judge's dismissal and a commissioner's dismissal. That's 72.2 of the Constitution and 103.2. Now, the only law that I'm interested in the Constitution, which is for Terra Nullius, that's Norfolk Island, Christmas Island, all the waters around, which is listed on the American Stock Exchange at roughly about $98 a share. Now, the law that I'm interested in is 116 of the Constitution. It says quite clearly the government can't establish a religion. That means it can't change the religion that it comes from, Babylon, back further. The second of all, freedom to exercise. Most people do not realise what an exercise is. An exercise is a verbing or scribing what you're doing, not what you are. Third is the government can't make laws to impose religious observances. Well, all words are religious constructs or religious observances. Fourth is no test of public trust or office shall be required. Now that is very important, because if you do not break the assumption you are a word or a construct, you are dead, because nobody can show me a living word. So when you go into court, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. What do? Well, you're fucked. Are you? Or you tell the truth. Now, whenever I go to court, I tell the truth to the priest. First thing they might say, the first thing I see is mourning priest. Let them know that they're in heavenly law. Second of all, they might say, are you the applicant, the judge? And I say, are you conspiring to commit murder? Fact, you can't show me a living word. That's one part of the statement. Now, when I say that, fact, you can't show me a living word, that is the first fact to put into court. Now, as the judge can't find anything that can beat that fact, then every word he calls you, he's conspiring to commit murder because he's saying you're a word. It's very important. That stops him from saying you're anything, because if you're anything in court, you're dead. Second of all, the next part to say, or are you trying to impose the government's religious observance of name, age, address, title and subject? Now, if the judge knows what he's talking about and knows the law, right, he should give you bail with no name, no address, knowing you're going to do it again, right? He should give you that, because the reality is they have no rights over the people of this land. They only have rights over British subjects in the Constitution, people who are possessions of the Crown, that's the birth certificate, and people who are followers of Almighty God because they've got a Christian name or any name. But the reality is, you cannot see the front of your face, let alone the back of your head. So why are you making up stories to say you're a name, which is a noun, which is a proper noun or a pronoun, which is still a thing or an object? So when you say you're a name, you're saying you're a thing or an object in the English language. And if you do not break the assumption or no test of public trust or office shall be required in court, then you are a thing or an object. All right, have a good day. Bye.